Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 7th annual Red Hat Heart Healthy Symposium. My name is Marlon Woods, and this is my lovely wife, Jessica, and we are this year's conference chairs. We are so honored to do so. I've had the privilege in past Red Hat Heart Healthy Symposiums to keynote as a survivor of open heart surgery, coronary artery bypass surgery. That being said, having a story to tell as a result. And from that story, joined the board of directors of the American Heart Association and became its executive leadership chair due to the mission work that I so proudly carry as a burden to the world to educate. So we're thankful to Dr. Sharon McDaniel, to Bishop David Brock and their team to putting together such an excellent affair for this year. This year is virtual, as obviously, you know, we're here and we are online. There's a couple of things that does virtually. Jessica?
What I love about the opportunity that a virtual conference brings is to create greater access.
Yeah.
If you're home and you have your loved ones around, your kids are in their bedrooms or someone's in the living room watching TV, call them close to you now. This is an opportunity to get them close to you and listen to this information, because what you'll learn today is that this information impacts each of us, whether it's our own personal health or someone that we know and love or a neighbor right across the street. This information that you'll learn today will truly be able to save lives. So we're excited about the fact that this virtual conference gives access.
Gives access, and more importantly, it gives education. That being said, there is a reason why this Heart Healthy Symposium exists. Dr. Sharon McDaniels had a sister who passed away from heart disease. And as a result, heart disease impacts not just the Black community, but in particular, Black women more than any other subset in the world, and more specifically in this country. Jessica, do you want to speak to that?
Well, you know, it's February.
Yeah.
It's Heart Health Month.
Yeah.
And it's Black History Month. So to have the opportunity to bring those two worlds together intentionally and talk about a disease or a condition that impacts our community disproportionately than others is a gift.
Yeah.
57% of Americans are impacted by heart disease.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the leading causes of that is high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And in the African-American community, 2 in 5 people, 2 in 5.
Yeah.
We're 2.
Yeah.
Raise your hand and count. Every 2 out of 5 people are impacted by heart disease and stroke. And the leading cause is high blood pressure. And we both have stories where high blood pressure has touched our personal lives, our family, and what we've done about that, which is exciting. And that gives encouragement.
Yeah.
Death can be prevented. Poor quality of life can be prevented.
Yeah.
And if you're in a direction where you're not in the best status, the good news is you can turn that around.
That's right.
And we both have that testimony.
That's right.
Which really, really excites us to be here with you today and share.
That's right. So take those numbers. Those are very real numbers. As my wife said, we've both been impacted by high blood pressure. And if you have, put it in the chat that you've been impacted by high blood pressure, and share some of your experiences with battling these things or having to change your diet. And that's why we're here today. This symposium is not just about wearing our red hats and looking cute on camera and with our house shoes on underneath. And so this is more so about your education and your edification as a result of it. And the reason why I say edification is because we're going to go from here with some real takeaways. We're going to go from here with some real action items, things to do with our lives. And that pretty much is the value of the outcome that we would like to achieve here today. There is an objective to this. And that objective is for you to walk away educated that, 1, it improves the quality of your life. And then 2, it gives you longevity of life. So that you can continue adding value to the world in the way that you've been designed to. Some of those takeaways are, we're just going to touch on just a few of them. Take your meds. I was one of those persons who thought I was just going to do it by changing my diet and just eating all vegetables only, and those types of things.
I had to cook.
that my wife had to cook because
which I love. I don't mind.
She loves to cook, and her vegetables are bar none the greatest of all time. So, but it didn't necessarily work out for me by simply eating vegetables and having a part-time diet. And that's, it's got to be, you've got to be all in, and that's not just medication, it's diet as well. So diet coupled with medication is helpful for you. There's some others.
Yeah, I think what I love is that this is the 7th, as my husband mentioned, the 7th annual Heart Health Luncheon.
That's right.
Red Hat Heart Luncheon. And 7 has a variety of different meanings.
Wow.
But one is promises and oath. So I would love for us all to make promises to ourselves and to our loved ones throughout the time that we have together today.
Yeah.
And promise to get active if you're not, and if you are, even more active.
That's right.
We make it a point to ensure that we go to the gym together several times a week.
That's right.
Probably 5 times a week. We're working out together at the gym.
That's right.
Get a partner to go with you. You shouldn't be alone in this walk.
Nope.
And you don't have to be.
You don't have to be.
If you're smoking, stop. Stop smoking. Almost instantly, and as soon as you stop, your health status turns around rather immediately.
It improves immediately.
There's very few things that you can do and your health status turns around immediately.
And that's one of them.
Stop smoking is one of those things. Maintain a healthy weight and talk to your doctor about what that looks like for you.
That's right.
And customize for you.
That's right.
Know your numbers.
Know your numbers.
We already covered eating well. Right. And we also covered taking your medication, but know the warning signs, and you'll learn more about that throughout today.
That's right.
And there's plenty of materials through the American Heart Association to learn, and on the internet, it's very easy to find.
That's right.
And know that those signs for women and heart disease are different than men.
That's right.
So please make sure you look and understand what it looks like for women.
That's right.
But what other things that I personally think make a big difference is live with purpose. And when you understand that this life we're given is bigger than
That's right. That's
us,
profound. That's right.
It drives you to do all the things that we mentioned.
That's right. That's profound.
And another tip for me that really works is praying.
Yeah, pray.
And loving myself.
That's
and
right.
loving my husband enough and my children enough that I don't want them to have to take care of me from surviving a stroke.
That's right.
So even if you're still struggling with seeing yourself and prioritizing yourself, then do it for the people around you who love you.
That's right.
Who will also be impacted if something else happens.
That's right.
So we're excited because there's so much opportunity.
There is so much opportunity
to live a fulfilled, purpose-filled life that's healthy.
That's healthy, but you've got to be intentional. These things don't and haven't just happened. They've been intentional decisions that were made. Now we've got to reverse those decisions and make new decisions, because what you get yourself into, you can get yourself out of. And typically we eat ourselves into these issues. We can also eat ourselves out of them as well. We didn't exercise ourselves into some of these issues. We can exercise ourselves out of it. And many of you here are already doing that. So why don't you put it in the chat if you're already doing it? As my pastor would say, put some fire in the chat if that's what you're doing. And so do that, put some fire in the chat, put a smiling emoji, put something in there, wave your hand, put praying hands in there that say that you're doing this thing. So we would like to hand this over to Dr. Sharon McDaniel and those who are participating. We're looking forward to an incredible symposium today. Hopefully you have your red hats on and your nice outfits on and your good food prepared, because it's going to be quite the affair, as it usually is, even though you're looking at it on a screen. We are all together there in heart, pun intended. And so thank you so much to all of you for having us as this year's chairs. It is our honor and, quite frankly, our responsibility. So once again, Dr. Sharon McDaniel, thank you. Bishop David Brock, thank you. Looking forward to seeing you all soon. Take care from the Woods House.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Can you believe it? We're joining you for the 7th annual Rhonda D. Wright Red Hat Healthy Heart Luncheon, brought to you by A Second Chance Incorporated. We are so grateful that you've joined us today. This is going to be a day filled with learning, a day filled with fun, a day filled with a lot of giveaways, prizes you want to watch to win. You got to be watching to win, because I'm telling you, when you hear your name called, you have only 7 minutes to call in and reclaim your prize. That's right. But we want to, first of all, thank Dr. Sharon McDaniel and the executive team of A Second Chance Incorporation for sponsoring this event once again. We are virtual this year. We felt that this year, with numbers of COVID and everything else, we did not want to come back in person this year. But next year, the plan is to be live and in living color. We're coming out with a big gala ball. It's going to be fun. You can dress up, and man, we're going to have a great time. So you want to stay tuned for the 8th annual New Beginnings, number 8. Red Hat Healthy Heart Luncheon. Well, you know what? I'm having some problems. I ordered a new hat for the Red Hat. I've been wearing the same hat for the last 6 years or so. I ordered a new hat and the hat did not arrive. And so here I am with this hat on. This is not a red hat. So throughout the broadcast, I'm going to be trying my best to find a red hat before this event is over. And I want you to let me know which hat you like the best, all right? But I'm going to find some red hats. I'm going to run around this building, see what I can find, and change my hat throughout the broadcast. Don't forget, you got to be listening to win. Throughout the broadcast, we're going to be drawing names. If you registered to win, you're going to hear your name called if you are one of our winners. When you hear your name called, we're going to put a phone number on the board. Once you see that phone number come up, the clock starts. You have 7 minutes to call in and claim your prize, all right? So whatever you're going to win, you got to be watching to win, and you want to stay tuned. We have plenty of prizes, plenty of winners through the generosity of Dr. Sharon McDaniel and A Second Chance Incorporated. We want to make you a winner, but you got to be watching to win. Well, here at A Second Chance, everything we do, we are unapologetic about doing it from a basis of prayer. We believe prayer changes things. And so today we're going to start our event out with prayer. And after we get done praying, we want to get that blood flowing. We're going to get that heart moving. We want to get you moving and grooving. And we're going to start the morning off with some exercises. Don't worry, we're not going to make you sweaty and tired. We're just going to show you how to get moving and grooving and how you can make yourself healthy right from your home with some easy to do exercises. So after we pray, we're going to get moving and grooving. Let's pray together. Dear Father, we thank you for your goodness and mercy, all that you've done, all that you're going to do. Thank you for another opportunity to come before the people to bring this Red Hat Healthy Heart Luncheon to you. We pray for the family of Rhonda, Dr. Sharon McDaniel, to Rhonda's children. We pray for them, to Stacy and to Tanel and to Howard. We pray for them and their continued peace and their continued healing through the loss of Rhonda. We pray for A Second Chance and all those who knew her and knew the gift that she was. Thank you for the gift of Rhonda, who she was in our life. And God, we do this event in memory of Rhonda. We thank you, God, that her memory lives on in our hearts. Her memory lives on in her spirits. And this event keeps her alive in our hearts and in our spirits. God, thank you for this day. Thank you for the doctors that will speak. Thank you for the gifts that will be given. Thank you for the food that we will eat at lunchtime. We thank you for all that you're going to do. We bless you and we thank you for this opportunity in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, listen, we're getting ready to go. Roland is getting ready to come. Roland Ford. If you don't know Roland Ford, Roland is the moving and grooving guy. Roland is going to teach us how we can do some exercise right from your home using a simple chair. Some of the things that you can do. All right. So let's go to Roland. Roland, take it away.
Greetings, Roland Ford. We are here providing Dance and Be Fit activity for another Rhonda Wright Healthy Heart Luncheon, sponsored by Second Chance. So once again this year, we have to do this virtually, exercising in abundance of caution, but nevertheless, we still will be able to work together to have some healthy movement Healthy movement is very important. As we get older, if we continue to move, not only will it benefit us physically, it also benefits our brain. Everything that makes our body strong and healthy also supports our brain health. And as we get older, if we continue to move, the portion of our brain that helps us with our memory, that's called the hippocampus, doesn't shrink as much. So again, what we're getting ready to do is good not only for our body, but for our brain as well. So let's go ahead and get started with something that's fun and easy that we can do in a chair. This is music and our friend Walt Maddox from Pittsburgh.
Clap your hands when I clap my hands.
Come on, we're gonna do this together.
Clap your hands when I clap my hands. Clap your hands with this band, and I will understand. Start to move with this group, and everything is alright. At your feet.
You can do it. We're doing this together. Right, now we're gonna clap faster. Here we go.
Clap your hands when I clap my hands. Clap your hands when I clap my hands. Clap your hands with this band, and I will understand. Start to move with this group, and everything is alright.
I'm about to move our feet faster. Here we
Your
go.
feet when I pat my feet.
You can do it. I see ya.
When I pat my feet,
Doing this right in the chair.
at your feet with this beat. Now get up off your seat and start to move with this groove, and everything is alright.
I was gonna count slow first and faster.
Clap
Slow
your
first.
hands when I clap
Faster.
my hands.
Slow.
Your hands when I clap
Faster.
my hands.
Slow.
Your hands with this band,
Faster.
and I will understand. Start to move with this groove, and everything.
All right, now we're gonna do hands and feet together. Slow first and fast. Here we go. Slow. Faster. Slow. Faster. Slow. Faster. All right. Clap your hands. Music from Walt Maddox, former singer and manager for a local group that way back when had the #1 song in the world. That group was the Marcells, and the song was Blue Moon. All right, so that's a nice song from Walt Maddox. All right, so we do this one sitting. The next one we're going to do standing if you're able to. Anything that we do, you can always modify it. And we also recommend that you work within your own comfort zone, understand what your own ability and capacity is. So whether we're sitting, standing, dancing, or exercising, if at any point in time we do something where anything begins to hurt or you get too tired mentally or physically, if that occurs, simply stop or slow down. You don't have to do everything as long as you do something, all right? So I'm going to move my chair out the way here. And the next one we're going to do, we are going to do it standing up. And this is going to help us to get loosened up and get a little bit more flexible. All right, so we try to provide a combination of cardio, strength, flexibility, and balance. So again, if you can do this standing, do it standing. If you need to do it in a chair, you can still do it. And just do the best you can with it. Here we go.
Stretch like a rubber band. Stretch. I know you can stretch like a rubber band. Yeah. Come on and stretch like a rubber band. Stretch. I know you can stretch like a rubber band.
All right, move our head.
Move your neck from side to side. Yeah, just like that. Then take your shoulders, make them glide. Are you relaxing now?
Arms.
Move your arms in circles now. Yeah, kind of like this, yeah. Like this.
Legs.
Take your legs and stretch them out.
Easy.
Get them trolley horses out there. Stretch like a rubber band. Stretch. I know you can stretch like a rubber band. Come on and stretch like a rubber band. Stretch. I know you can stretch like a rubber band.
All right, just go down as far as you can comfortably. You don't have to go all the way.
That's kind of hard, ain't it?
All right, then come back up slowly and take a breath. Don't go bend at the waist.
Start with sit-ups, then do more. Yeah, I want you to do more. Take your time and work it out. You got all the time in the world. I think we're getting warmer now. I knew you could do it. Yeah. All you gotta
Stretch
do
it out. Here
is
we go.
stretch like a rubber band. Stretch. I know you can stretch like a rubber band. Yeah. Come on and stretch like a rubber band. Stretch. I know you can stretch.
All right, now I'm going to use my chair to provide a little extra support as I stretch out my leg.
We can get really fit. If we put it in our minds, we can get
Just do what works for you.
really fit. We design our way.
All right, good.
Stretch, yeah, like a rubber band. Stretch, I know you can stretch like a rubber band. Come on and stretch like a rubber band. Stretch, I know you can stretch like a rubber band. One more again, come on, stretch like a rubber band. Stretch, I know you can stretch like a rubber band. Yeah, this is fun, yeah, ain't it? Come on, y'all.
All right, so that was part one of our Dance and Be Fit segments. We're going to come back in a little bit with part two. And in part two, we're going to take it up a little bit, So something I want you to have available when we come back is want you to have something that's not heavy that you can hold in both hands. All right? That can be 2 very light weights. It can be 2 cans of soup. Some people use a pair of slippers or shoes. 2 of something that you can hold in each hand, and we're going to do a little resistance workout as well as our other Dance and Be Fit routine. All right, so we'll see you back in just a little bit.
I don't know about you, but I was moving and grooving and exercising and getting my exercise on, rolling with my chair things and everything else. I found a red hat, but it really wasn't the hat I'm after. I'm still looking, but you know what? It helped me while I was exercising to bring my body temp up a little bit so I could lose a couple of extra calories. So I'm good from my hat. But guess what? You don't care about my hat right now. I want to see if I can make you a winner. So guess what? Behind me is our red hat healthy heart lunch bag, and in it are the names of our participants. That's right. If you registered, your name is in this bag, and I want to see if I can make you a winner. All right, let me tell you how this works. You can only win once. So if you win once, your name is removed from the bag. Of course, you can't win again. All right, so we're going to be drawing names, and this is how it works. After I draw your name, they're going to put on the screen the number for you to call. You will have 7 minutes, all right? 7 minutes to call. So guess what? I'm going to call 5 names. If you hear your name, once I put up the sign that tells you what time to call, or what number to call, excuse me, you'll have 7 minutes from that time to call. All right? So here we go. I'm going into the bag to see who we can make a winner. And I'm going to call 5 names. And after I call these names, you have 7 minutes to call. All right, our first winner, Selena Humphreys. Selena Humphreys, you're a winner. Guess what? You got 7 minutes to call. Let me see who else I can go with. Darlena Jones. Darlena Jones. Darlena Jones, you're a winner. You got 7 minutes to call. Let me see if I can find my name in this bag, because if you all don't call, then I'm keeping your prize. No, I'm just kidding. I can't win. All right, Aquita Lawson. Aquita Lawson, if you're watching, you got 7 minutes to call. You're a winner. All right, let me see who else I got. Let me see. Oh, I don't know her, but Amber Sloan. Amber Sloan, if you're watching, you're a winner. All right, listen, get my last winner for this time, and then we're going to move on. All right, my last winner. Here you go, Victoria Lynch. Victoria Lynch, if you're watching, you're a winner. You all have 7 minutes. All 5 of you have 7 minutes to call and claim your prize. That time starts for you right now. So get to calling. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go see if I can find me another hat or something else red. I'll be back. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it yourself so far and made some of you a winner. But listen, this is the reason we come together, to learn and to be better. We want this time together to be better and make us better, having spent this time together and never bitter. So we want to go out for a moment, and we're going to go to the office of Dr. Natalie Stokes. She is a UPMC physician of internal medicine. She's going to share with us the importance and understanding why heart health is so critical. She's also going to share with us and give us some tidbits and ways where we can make some changes that can turn our health around. So I want you to join me. Let's go to the office of Dr. Natalie Stokes and hear what she has to say about heart health. Dr. Stokes, thank you and greetings.
Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Stokes. I am a cardiologist at UPMC Heart and Vascular Institute. It is my thrill and honor today to be able to talk with you at the Rhonda D. Wright Red Hat Healthy Heart Luncheon. I felt it most prudent to discuss risk for cardiovascular disease, because the first step in taking ownership of your health is to understand your risk factors. Now, many of the risk factors we discuss may be familiar to you, but as our understanding of risk evolves and continues to evolve, there are several risk factors associated with heart disease that may not be as familiar to you. While many of these factors are also apply equally to men and women, I want to take the opportunity to emphasize some of the women-specific or women-predominant risk factors today. First, I'll give you a brief background as to the extent of cardiovascular disease and why it's so important to discuss these issues today. First of all, up until about 20 to 30 years ago, we knew next to nothing about heart disease in women. All of our studies have been done entirely on men, and we extrapolated that to apply to women. So some very savvy and admirable physicians observed some differences between how men and women presented, what the quality of their heart disease was, and their risk factor profiles. So with a whole lot of advocacy and effort, we have since then made a lot of progress in our understanding of heart disease over the past several decades in both men and women. Cardiovascular disease remains the #1 cause of death for both men and women in the United States. This graph depicts mortality from cardiovascular causes over time, with men in blue and women in red. So you can see the mortality for women remained higher than men for quite some time, but starting in about 2000, and that's when that real advocacy and awareness campaigns began, we began to make some great strides in reducing cardiovascular mortality for women. The most disturbing part of this graph, however, is how the curves are trending since 2010. You can see for both men and women, cardiovascular mortality is increasing despite advances in the field. A large percentage of this increase is attributable to modifiable risk factors, which is why understanding and optimizing your individual risk is so important. Your healthcare professional may use a risk calculator to help estimate your chance for a heart attack or stroke. Now, these calculators aren't perfect, but they are helpful. And I'll give you some pointers on things that can help to complement the calculators themselves. If you're between the ages of 40 and 75 and you've never had a heart attack or stroke, ask to have your risk of a cardiovascular event over the next 10 years assessed. You can use the calculator I have here called the Check Change Control Calculator with the link therein. This you can find if you Google American Heart Association Risk Calculator. It will bring this up. There are some traditional risk factors that we've known about for a long time, but remain very significant. But importantly, there are new emerging risk factors that are just as important to know about. Many of these risk factors are specific to women or more prevalent in women, and we'll talk a little bit about each of these. First, to tackle some of the more traditional risk factors. Smoking and tobacco use is a major risk factor for heart attack and stroke. The tobacco itself makes clots more likely to form, can promote buildup of plaque in your arteries, but nicotine as well, which is one of the chemicals in cigarettes and e-cigarettes, causes your heart to beat faster and your blood pressure to rise. So these things combined really put you at greater risk for cardiovascular disease. Exposure to other people's smoke also increases your risk of heart attack, even for non-smokers. And there are ways that we can support you to quit or reduce your use. My colleague, Dr. Levinson, will be talking more specifically about how to optimize your risk, but we want to make sure that you know that this is not easy and you do not have to do it alone. So talk with your doctor about means that we have for supporting you through the process. High blood pressure increases the heart's workload. Essentially, your heart has to work harder to pump against the higher pressures. Over time, this can lead to muscle thickening and your heart becoming stiffer. And the stiffening of the heart muscle is not normal and can cause it to function abnormally. It also increases your risk of stroke, heart attack, kidney failure, and congestive heart failure. Normal blood pressure, importantly, is 120 over 80 millimeters of mercury. High cholesterol is also a very significant contributor to the buildup of plaque in your arteries, which contributes to stroke and heart attack. If you're over 20, you should have your cholesterol checked every 4 to 6 years as part of a normal cardiovascular risk assessment. If certain factors put you at higher risk or you already have heart disease, you may need to check this much more often. So your cholesterol panel will test several types of fat in the blood. The test gives you 4 results: your total cholesterol, your LDL cholesterol, which is what we typically call the bad cholesterol, your HDL cholesterol, which is what we call the good or protective cholesterol, and your triglycerides, which are your blood fats. Having an exceptionally high LDL cholesterol or higher than normal triglycerides can put you at even more increased risk than just high cholesterol itself. Diabetes seriously increases your risk of heart disease and stroke. So even when your glucose levels are under control, diabetes does increase this risk. but the risks are much greater if your blood sugar is not controlled. So if you have diabetes, regular checkups are absolutely critical to help keep your blood sugar under control. People who have excess body fat, especially if a lot of it is around the waist, are more likely to develop heart disease and stroke, even if they have no other risk factors. Many people have difficulty losing weight, but for those above a healthy weight, a sustained weight loss of even 3% can lead to significant reductions in many risk factors. An inactive lifestyle is a risk factor for coronary disease as well. Regular, moderate to vigorous physical activities can reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. So these things are independent but also related. For instance, blood pressure is easier to control when you increase your physical activity. Adults should aim for at least 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity physical activity, such as brisk walking, or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity physical activity, such as jogging, or a combination of the two. Now for some of the emerging risk factors, which aren't as well known potentially. First, family history of early heart disease puts you at risk for genetic factors that we don't fully understand all the time. We'll talk a little bit more about what early heart disease means in just a moment. The presence of chronic kidney disease impacts your risk, as well as chronic inflammatory conditions. Some pregnancy-related conditions can increase your long-term cardiovascular risk, as does a history of early menopause. Now, some high-risk ethnicities do also incur a greater risk of early cardiovascular disease. Most specifically, South Asian ancestry is associated with early cardiovascular disease. And importantly, depression and stress increase your risk for heart disease. So caring for your heart health really requires taking time and effort to care for your mental health. The importance of sleep is something we have not paid enough attention to previously, but 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night can improve your risk for cardiovascular disease long term. It is very, very important. To talk a little bit more specifically about some of these emerging risk factors, family history of early atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease is a risk factor in and of itself. So what does this mean? For men less than 55 years old who have had a heart attack or stroke, or women less than 65-year-old in your family, you should let your provider know that you have this. In a first-degree relative is most significant, but even in second-degree relatives, it's worth noting. Now, why women a bit later? And that's because women traditionally develop cardiovascular disease a bit later than men do. And this is due in part to the protective value of hormones and estrogen specifically. So once women go through menopause, they lose that protective benefit of estrogen and are more apt to develop cardiovascular disease. But it tends to happen a bit later than it does in men. Chronic inflammatory conditions increase your risk of long-term cardiovascular disease. So this includes conditions such as rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, lupus, which are more prevalent in women, as well as HIV/AIDS, particularly those on long-term heart therapy. So you obviously can't change this as a risk factor, but it's important to know and take into consideration when assessing your overall risk for cardiovascular disease. Importantly, there are many pregnancy-related conditions that are a signal of long-term risk for cardiovascular disease as well. We used to believe that these conditions, gestational hypertension, preeclampsia, gestational diabetes, go away after the baby is delivered, which in a sense they do. However, the presence of these conditions during pregnancy signal increased risk for cardiovascular events long term. So it's very important to bring this history to your doctor's attention if they're not asking about it already. I'm going to speak quickly about menopause, as it's an important time for women to take stock of their cardiovascular risk. Menopause is more than just a gynecologic issue. It's a whole body issue. As mentioned before, women develop cardiovascular disease later than men, and this is likely due to the protective effects of estrogen, which goes away during menopause. So at this time, women can have changes in their cholesterol, in their blood pressure, in their weight and body fat distribution. It's also been shown that women who experience early menopause at or before the age of 45 years old have higher burden of long-term cardiovascular disease. So again, this is something you should really be bringing to the attention of your doctor, and if they're not asking about it already. So now that you have a bit more insight into your risk factors, it's important to discuss this with your doctor and also take action to optimize your risk. Control the things you can control. My colleague will give you some more information on how to go about doing this. But importantly, prior studies have shown that up to 80% of cardiac events can be prevented by optimizing risk. So hopefully that makes you feel empowered to do something. I want to say a huge thank you for your attention today and for giving me the opportunity to speak with you. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and please spread the word on how to know your risk and how to optimize your risk. Together, we can help reduce the burden of cardiovascular disease and change those mortality curves that I showed you earlier. All right, take care.
Hello, everybody. My name is Vina McClendon, and I don't know where Dr. Brock went. I think he went to go pick up another hat, but I have some more prizes for people. So when I pick up your name, you have 7 minutes to call and pick up your prize. The first name I will call is Alicia Goodson. Alicia Goodson, you have 7 minutes to call that number and pick up a prize. Katrina Herring. Melanie Murray. And then I have Geraldine Kirk. And the last name I will call is Kimberly Humphreys. You guys have 7 minutes to call that number below and pick up your prize.
I had significant weakness and limited use of the left side of my body. It took 2 months of physical therapy to regain most of my strength and movement.
Dina Pearsall was only 41 when she had a stroke. Until that day, she was very athletic and stayed fit, so Dina thought she was in pretty good shape.
I was kind of floored to find out I was walking around with high blood pressure, and that led to the stroke.
About 1 in 3 adults in the United States has high blood pressure. But like Dina, many of them are unaware they have it.
It's very important to know your blood pressure. It's a vital sign, and if it's high, it can lead to heart attacks, strokes, and heart failure. Studies have shown that if you monitor your blood pressure, it can decrease your risk of getting those problems. So it's important to monitor it.
Dr. Annabelle Bogman is a leading cardiologist who specializes in women and heart disease. She believes that it's important to know what your blood pressure is so you can do something about it.
If a patient's blood pressure is less than 140/90, doctors feel that they can change that and lower it by just doing simple changes with lifestyle. And that includes increasing your physical activity, eating less salt, eating fruits that are high in potassium, monitor your blood pressure, and maintaining a good weight. When you monitor your blood pressure regularly, you can see the impact that these simple changes can decrease their blood pressure, which is very rewarding.
I do manage my blood pressure now with medication, lifestyle changes, and stress-reducing exercises. My biggest concern now is raising awareness. Heart disease is a silent killer and is also the leading cause of death for Americans.
To help spread the word, Dina became a Women Heart champion. Women Heart is a national support group that promotes awareness and support for women with heart disease.
I had a healthy lifestyle and I was walking around with undiagnosed high blood pressure. So I tell people you need to know your numbers and get tested.
I think everyone should get their blood pressure checked at their doctors at least once a year, but I do think that everyone should have a blood pressure monitor at home, just like everyone has a scale to monitor a healthy weight. Regardless of age, I think everyone should know their blood pressure.
Most home blood pressure monitors are easy to use, and many offer special features to help you manage your blood pressure more effectively.
I ask my patients to check their blood pressure at least once a week to make sure that it's under control, but I also like them to check it at different times during the day, especially in the morning when the blood pressure tends to be high. But I also want them to check it when they're having symptoms such as chest pain, shortness of breath, or a headache. This could sometimes mean that their blood pressure is high.
More than 50% of people with high blood pressure who monitor at home show an improvement in medication compliance and have better outcomes.
I got my home BP monitor shortly after I got out of the hospital after my stroke, and I check my blood pressure twice a week, and I have for the last 7 years.
My patients bring their readings for me to review, and the blood pressures that we get in the office along with these readings can help successfully manage their high blood pressure.
When monitoring your blood pressure at home, it's critical to use a monitor that provides accurate results like those from Omron Healthcare, which are clinically validated.
I recommend high-quality monitors that are accurate and easy to use. The cuff size is also important. If the cuff is too small, it could lead to incorrect readings.
Managing high blood pressure is vital to reducing your risk for heart disease and stroke.
I'm an ex-athlete. I exercised, I ate right. It never would have crossed my mind to use a home blood pressure monitor, much less own one. But you really have to be your own advocate. You have to guard against your own health. You have to get tested for your blood pressure, know your cholesterol, know your triglycerides. Those are 3 very important numbers to know.
To find out more about how you can better manage your blood pressure, go to trustyourhearttoomron.com.
Hey, Dr. Brock, I'm back again. I couldn't find a red hat this time. I was hunting everywhere. And I went in the office and I found some Christmas glasses. They're red, so I brought them out. All right. It's not the red glasses event, it's the red hat. But in the meantime, I actually found some red Hershey Kisses too. And since I can't kiss you, I'm going to eat one of these for you. Listen, since I'm here, let's see if I can make you a winner. Let me grab the red hat, the red hat bag, shake it up. Let's see if I can make you a winner. When I call your name, you will have 7 minutes to call and claim your prize. All right, so let's go. Celeste Batten. Celeste Batten. Come on, call 412-495-6890. Claim your prize. Who else do we got here? Lisa Chambers. Lisa Chambers. Lisa Chambers, you got 7 minutes to call. Claim your prize. Let's see who else I have here. Rachel Austin. Rachel Austin. You got 7 minutes to call, 412-495-6890. And the last one for this round, Mr. Charles Jones. Charles Jones, you got 7 minutes to call and claim your prize. Hey, stay there. Stay with us. I can make you a winner next. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, hopefully you've been enjoying yourself. I know I have. I've learned a lot. I've laughed. I've had some fun. Made some winners, did some exercising, I had some good lunch. Guess what? It's another reason that we've come together, and that's to educate ourselves so that we can be better having spent this time together. I want to go to the office of Dr. Joshua Livingston. He is a cardiologist at UPMC from their Heart and Vascular Institute. And Dr. J, as he kept calling himself when I was corresponding with him, and I'm not talking about the basketball player or the rapper, but Dr. JL, as he kept calling himself, he is, again, a cardiologist. He studies the heart, knows about the heart. He wanted to share with us today the importance and some things, again, that you can do, small changes that can add years to your life. So go with me now. Let's go to the office of Dr. Joshua Livingston, and let's hear what Dr. J has to say. Dr. J, thank you for joining us.
Thank you all for the opportunity to follow up the great Dr. Stokes and to talk with you today about preventing and managing heart disease. Of all the lifestyle changes one could make that are most impactful to reduce the risk of heart disease and to manage heart disease, tobacco cessation is clearly on the top of the list. This is the #1 cause of heart disease worldwide, and really the #1 way to prevent heart disease. So if you are still smoking, please realize that actually takes on average 8 times before someone actually is able to successfully quit. And so don't be discouraged if you've already tried and failed several times before, because you're probably less than the average person. And perseverance here really will pay off and allow you to successfully quit. I work with a great number of surgeons and interventional cardiologists who use new technology for a living to manage heart disease. However, I think we all realize that simple lifestyle changes are actually probably equally, if not more effective in managing heart disease. The simple things, reducing weight, exercising more, and having a healthier diet are really great ways to manage cardiovascular risk. While it seems straightforward, reduction in sugar is actually a great way to reduce the risk of diabetes and to manage it. And I think we all find that patients both who are trying to reduce heart disease and to manage heart disease feel better when they really take care of these three issues on the slides. Most of my day is actually spent managing blood pressure for patients. Worldwide, high blood pressure is an under-recognized and under-treated cause of heart disease. We used to allow patients' blood pressures to be quite high, even as high as the 180s, and we've realized that a normal blood pressure close to 120/80 is the real target now. And most studies and recommendations now would say that patients' blood pressure should be at least less than 130 for the top number and less than 90 for the bottom number. The lifestyle changes that we've talked about so far, losing weight, quitting tobacco, exercising, and changing your diet can all help to reduce blood pressure. But medications are quite valuable and effective here. And so is the DASH diet, which is a way to reduce your salt intake. So if you haven't had your blood pressure checked, please make sure you do so. High cholesterol is a major cause of cardiovascular disease, and the best way to understand your risk is really to look at your bad cholesterol number, and that is called the LDL, or low density lipoprotein. For patients with high risk, we want the LDL number to be less than 70 milligrams per deciliter. Even in Europe, they'll target less than 55 for very high-risk patients. Great ways to understand your risk is to be getting a simple blood test to check your LDL number. And to manage it would be to use our mainstay, which are statins, such as atorvastatin or rosuvastatin. Those go by the trade name of Lipitor or Crestor. Many patients worry about side effects from statins, and those concerns are probably real, but actually a small minority. But for patients who cannot tolerate statins, there are many other options, including ezetimibe, fish oils that are prescribed by physicians, and newer injection medicines that help lower cholesterol at least 50% and are quite successful in reducing heart disease. It is worth thinking about how to find out whether you have plaque buildup in your arteries, and that plaque buildup we call atherosclerosis. These days we actually have CT scans that can identify plaque buildup in the arteries. This could be with or without the IV contrast that we use for many tests. You really need to talk with your doctor about whether this is appropriate for you. In the past, we'd recommend annual stress testing to try to find blockages in the arteries. But we really don't recommend that anymore for patients unless you're having symptoms of blockages or a heart attack. For patients who are having a heart attack or are having signs of a severe blockage, we can do what's called a heart catheterization, which is taking pictures with tubes inside the heart and injecting dye, and then finding where that blockage is and actually opening it up with a stent or a balloon. Now, all of that, I'll be honest, sounds quite scary, but the truth of the matter is that medications and lifestyle changes remain the #1 way to manage plaque buildup. Although we do have stents and even bypass surgery, as you've probably been made aware, more and more evidence shows that the medications we talk about and the way to manage your risk with the lifestyle changes remains equally, if not more effective than the newer technologies such as stents and bypass surgery. And so if you are diagnosed with heart disease or worry about it, really you should feel happy and reassured that we have a great way to manage your risk. How could I not reuse the slide from the great Dr. Stokes to remind us about Life Simple 7? These modifiable lifestyle changes really allow us to take action and understand and reduce our risk. If you haven't had a chance to review the websites, they are wonderful on the American Heart Association. And as you can tell, Nadia and I love talking about these factors to understand heart disease. So once again, thank you so much for the opportunity. We're really grateful and are available to come back and ask any questions in the future. Thank you.
I don't know about you. I'm hungry. This is where we pause for the cause. Listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to your refrigerator. I want you to find something healthy, some healthy soup, a nice salad, a sandwich, something healthy. Normally we would be together. Normally we would be in a ballroom. Normally we would have prepared a healthy heart lunch for you. But the whole purpose of this event is healthy eating, awareness of the benefits of healthy eating. You've heard that from our physicians about changing your eating habits. You heard that from Marlon and Jessica Wood about exercising and changing your eating habits. You heard it from me about changing your eating habits. So go find something healthy in your refrigerator, in your kitchen. Prepare yourself a healthy lunch. While you are at lunch, we have the Pittsburgh's own renowned Bill Henry and the Bill Henry Band. They're going to play some music for us while we enjoy lunch. And while we're eating, enjoy the sounds and the tunes from the Bill Henry Band. And then I will be back and we'll go further in our time together. Bill Henry, we thank you again for being our guest. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bill Henry Band.
The song's called Give My Love. The night you won't forget it. I'll give you my love, never regret it. You're gonna get my love. When I get home, you're gonna get it. Sing that. Tonight's the night you won't forget it. Give you my love, never regret it. You're gonna get my love. Till you work, I've been distracted. About your body and the way you reacted to my touch, to my lips, to my tongue. Keep getting flashbacks, coming home straight to your love. All day you been on my mind. I think about when you put it on me the last time. I don't wanna play around with your love. I just wanna give you all of my love. I just wanna give you what you want. Yeah. Say tonight you won't forget it. Oh no. You're gonna get my love. Say tonight's the night you won't forget it. Give you my love, never regret it. You're gonna get my love. I'm out with my boys, cool night on the town. Chicks in our faces, throwing money around. Ooh, your thighs, your hips are so thick. Tonight it's going down, baby, send me a pic. Since all night long, you've been all on my mind. And I'm thinking about your body, girl, you're so damn fine. Guess what? I don't wanna play around with your love. I just wanna give you all of my love. I just wanna give you what you want. Yeah, say tonight you won't forget it. Oh no, no. You're gonna get my love. Tonight's the night you won't forget it. I'll give you my love, never regret it. You're gonna get my sing that. Tonight's the night you won't forget it. I'll give you my love, never regret it. You're gonna get my love. You're gonna get it. So tonight's the night you won't forget it. I'll give you my love, never regret it. You're gonna get my love. Girl, tell me all of your secrets. If you know this song, sing along with us. I wanna know every side of you, and I wanna be one of your regrets. Tell me exactly what to do. I want you to listen. You've been searching for confession, some type of peace of mind. And guess what? I see you physically stressing. I can't put all that behind. Let go of all of your worry, at least just for one night. 'Cause I damn sure ain't in a hurry. Let me make you feel alright. Sing it out. Girl, tell me all of your secrets. I wanna know every side of you. And I wanna be one of your regrets. Tell me exactly what to do. Break this down one time. I am a fan of your body. I've been examining every curve of you. My imagination has been running wild, and I imagine yours has been running too. Let's lay to rest all this fooling. It's time to close the door and do what grown folk be doing. When our eye close hit the floor, oh, girl, tell me. I wanna know every side of you. I won't be one. Tell me exactly what to do. Just sing like this. Tell me your secrets. Tell me your secrets. I wanna know your secrets. If you've ever wanted to tell somebody exactly what you're feeling, say, tell me your secrets. I'm here to listen. Tell me your secrets. I wanna know your secrets. In the back tonight, I want you to sing along with us. Just tell me your secrets. Just tell me your secrets. I wanna know. Tell me your secrets. Tell me your secrets. I wanna know your secrets. sure I'm right before I let go. Now we've had our good times, girl, it's the same. We're hurting each other, well, and girl, it's a shame. Look, but I won't be foolish, no. You should know. Sing it out. I wanna make sure I'm right. Come on. You know I think the sun rises and shines on you. Come on. But you know there's nothing, nothing, nothing I would not do. Whoa, before I let you. Say la da da, la da da. Ooh, you feel good? Say la da da, la da da. Say la da da. We got a praise break right now. Sing that. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to reintroduce all of my brothers on stage this evening. Helping us out on auxiliary keys in the back, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jerome Kirkland. To my left, your right, on bass guitar and synth bass, my brother, Mr. Philippe Price. To my right, your left, on keyboards this evening, my brother, Mr. Larry Hutch. Behind me, on the risers, ladies and gentlemen, on the drums, Mr. Randy Williams, make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bill with the Bill Henry Band. You feel good tonight? Put your hands up like this. Sing. I said la da 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 da. Shine a light on 'em. Shine a light on 'em. Turn the house lights up real quick in the back. Come on. I said la da 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 da. I said la da 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 da. I said la da da. Take it back to the bridge one time. You know I think the sun rises and shines on you. But you know there's nothing, nothing, nothing I would. Whoa, before I let go. Y'all feel good? I've been watching you from across the room. I think you can tell that you done got me in the mood. Oh, baby. And I think it's time for you and I to get out of here. Look, look, look. No playing games, baby. So much to say, so let me whisper it in your ear. Come here, baby. You look so damn good. I want you next to me. I'm talking about making love more than just sexing me. You're looking so fine. I wanna take you home. I'm talking about spending time. Baby, you ain't gotta be alone. And let's go all night. Let's go all night. Can we go all night? Where we make love. Can we go all night? I wanna go all night. And the turn up is real when it's a private party. Just me and you, baby. The chemistry is off the charts. Yeah, let's make it do what it do. Bring it to what it do, baby. 'Cause you do something to me deep down inside. Oh, my soul, my soul, my soul. Let's grab this bottle, yeah. Jump in my ride. What? Are you ready to go? You look so damn good. I want you next to me. This is more than just sex. You're looking so fine. I'm trying to tell you all. I'm talking about spending time. You ain't gotta be alone. Let's go all night. Let's go all night. Where we make love. Can we go all night? I wanna go all night. Can we go all night? Let's stay all night. Let's stay all night. Sing it. Can we go all night? Let's go all night. See, baby, just relax your mind. Just kick back and unwind. Trust me, we gon' have a good time tonight, tonight, tonight. Baby, just relax your mind. Just kick back and unwind. Trust me, we gon' have a good time tonight. I said, baby, tonight. Baby, just relax your mind. Just relax your mind. Just kick back and unwind. Just unwind with it, baby. We gon' have a good time. Let's have a good time. Baby, just relax your mind. Just relax your mind. Just kick back and unwind. Just unwind with me, baby. We gon' have a good time. Say tonight, tonight, tonight. Girl, all I wanna do is chill, chill. And I really wanna take my time, take my time. You know I got energy tonight, baby. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I really just wanna know, can you keep up? gentlemen, Mr. Jerome Kirkland. Make some noise, make it feel good. We are, and no matter what we do, sit back in the chairs and say. That's what you gotta call somebody up and do. You gotta say, come on over with me. Just come on over to my place. Oh, 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 oh. I wanna come, baby. I wanna feel. Thank you very
Well, I got my hat. You know what that means. It's time to exercise. It's time to get moving and grooving. We done had some lunch. We got to get that lunch settled so we don't fall asleep. You know how we get after we eat. So we're going to exercise a little bit more. Roland Ford is going to help us to understand how easy it is to exercise at home. Moving and grooving is what he does. Roland, help us exercise. Take us away.
All right, rolling forward. Hey, back for part 2 of Dance and Be Fit, part of the Rhonda Wright Healthy Heart Luncheon that we're blessed to be able to participate in every year. All right, so when we do a classroom event, we always say there's 3 things we want to happen. 1, we're going to get some exercise. 2, hopefully we're going to learn something new because it's exercise for our brain as well as our body. But the most importantly, number 3 is we want you to enjoy yourself when we do this. That means we want you to have fun. And sometimes we have the most fun when we turn one way and everybody else turns the other way. Important point, doesn't matter how you do it, doesn't have to be perfect. You can even be on the beat of a different drummer. As long as you're moving, you're getting the benefit of the fitness activity. All right. So this next one's going to be a little bit more up-tempo. Just do what you can do. Do as much of it as you can. If you can't do the whole thing, that's fine. But stay within your comfort zone, okay? Try to have fun with it, all right? All right. Music from my friend Achilles Soon. Up and down, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 more up and down, going up, down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out and to the side, going out and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 more out to the side, going out and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 up and down, 4 out and in, 4 up and down, 4 out to the side, 1 hand at a time goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 hand out to the side goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 hand up and down for 4, 4 out to the side, 4 up and down, 4 out to the side, diagonal on the angle goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 more on the angle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, both arms go, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more, go, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 quarters, and the front is 1, 2, 3, right side, front, left side, front, right side, front, left side. Those tomahawks. 1, 2, 3, chop that wood, and 5, 6, 7, 8 more, chop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, very slow windshield wiper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now some of us are starting to feel this in our arms. 8 more, going 1, 2, 3, 4. Just do what you can. 6, faster tomahawk. Going 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Windshield wiper. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Tomahawk. 4, 5, 6. Windshield wiper. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double tomahawk. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Windshield wiper. 2, 3, 4 quarters in the Front goes 1, 2, 3, right side. Front, left side. Front, right side. Front, left side. All right, a little bit of footwork now. Up and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 more up and back. Going up, back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out and to the side. Going out in 2, 3, 4. You can do it. 6, 7, 8 more to the side. Out in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 up and back. 4 out to the side. 4 up and back. 4 out to the side. Single, single, double. Single, single, double. Again. 1, 1, 2. Little brain teaser. Single, single, double. 1, 1, 2. Single, single, double out to the side. Single, single, double. 1, 1, 2. Again. Single, single, double. 1, 1. All right, 2 at a time. All doubles up and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doubles up and back. Going up, back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doubles out to the side. Going out in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 more double side. Going out in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, slide both feet on the floor together up and back. Slide out and in. Slide up and back. Slide out and in. Low scissor kicks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Scissors. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slow good cross. 1, 2, 3. Now some of us are starting to feel this in our leg muscles. 7. Just do what you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Faster scissor kicks. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Crisscross. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, on this next part, just do the best you can. Arms and legs, come out scissors. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2, 2, 3, 4. We'll join crisscross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Change. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Change. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Change. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Change. 3, 4. Woohoo! All right, all right, all right, all right. So even though we were in a chair, what we were doing is considered cardio. That means our heart rate beats a little faster, our breathing gets a little deeper, and what that means is now our heart is pumping blood and oxygen to our brain, to our vital organs, and all throughout our body. All right? So every once in a while, when we're moving and working out, we want to take the tempo up just a little bit to get some cardio, right? Now let's take a deep breath and breathe out. Deep breath in and breathe out and deep breath in. Okay, okay, okay. Now, all right. So now is the part where we want to have those light weights, or two of something that we can hold in our hand, okay? So I'm going to use these light weights I have here, but you can use two of anything. Could be bottles of water, cans of soup, pair of shoes, all right? Just something to hold in our hands. If you don't have anything, just use your hands. Now, if you're able to, you get more benefit from doing this one standing up. However, if you need to do it in the chair, do it in the chair. And again, just do what works for you. If you get to a point where something hurts or you're too tired, stop or slow down, all right? This song is music from my friend Akil. 5, 6, here we go. Front, side, front, side, front, side, front, side. Up and down and all around and up and down and all around and up and down and all around and 5, 6, here we go. Lift front. 'em on the lightweight resistance or strengthening workout. When we do a strengthening or resistance workout, extra added benefits is that an hour from now, when we're no longer working out or exercising, our muscles will still be burning calories from what we just did. All right, so you guys did really a great job. Want to kind of just remind you though that you cannot outwork a bad diet. We encourage everyone to take steps to develop and maintain a healthy lifestyle. A healthy lifestyle is very important because a healthy lifestyle can help to prevent 80% of all chronic illnesses and diseases. And even if we have diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis, bad cholesterol, and a host of other things, a healthy lifestyle can help us reduce those. Okay? But most of developing a healthy lifestyle comes from what we put into our mouth, what we put in our bodies. It's very, very important to make healthy food choices. Healthy, if we eat smarter and move better, we will be taking steps to develop and maintain a healthy lifestyle. And be on the alert. We're going to be doing multiple health and wellness coaching programs and initiatives this year. So if you're interested, let us know. All right? So in the meantime, in between time, stay safe, stay protected so we can dance together again another day. All right, peace.
Guess what? I'm back. Found another red hat. Go me. Listen, I'm enjoying the Red Hat Healthy Heart Luncheon and Symposium. Hopefully you are. Listen, I'm back again because guess what time it is? It's time to make you a winner. When I call your name, you will have 7 minutes to call 412-495-6890. Okay? You'll have 7 minutes to call. Let me grab the red hat bag and let me shake it up and let's see who I can make a winner. All right. Demita Morris, you have 7 minutes to call and claim your prize. Let's see who else I have here. Jamara Maggot, you have 7 minutes to call and claim your prize. All right, let's see who else. Sarah Como, you're a winner. You have 7 minutes to call and claim your prize. Let me get this last name here. Let me see, I got maybe one or two more. Lachelle Jones, you have 7 minutes to call. Let's go one more and then we'll stop. All right. Mamie Williams, you're a winner. You have 7 minutes to call 412-495-6980. Oh, goodness, I messed that up. 495-6890. 412-495-6890. I'm glad the number's on the bottom of the screen because I messed that up. However, the clock has started for you. You got 7 minutes to call and claim your prize. Let's be right back.
The number one thing that I love to do is prevent disease. And preventing cardiovascular disease is why I went into cardiology. Now, getting people to prevent disease on their own is not an easy thing because it takes hard work, even though most of it is free. And there really are 4 major things that I recommend to patients to prevent a heart attack. One is to eat better. Now, for a lot of people, they think they're eating pretty well and they get a salad and they put ranch on it and some eggs and a whole bunch of cheese. And basically what they've done is transform their salad into a cheeseburger. And that is not a healthful way. Really, it is a low-fat, whole food, plant-based, unprocessed diet. These days, it's actually very easy to do with readily available, inexpensive ingredients. Things like oats for breakfast and brown rice and beans and some vegetables for lunch with a beautiful salsa on top. That kind of a meal is an easy way to do it without a lot of trouble. So that's 1. 2 is exercise. 30 minutes of brisk activity a day that leads to breathlessness. And if you have orthopedic issues, swim. If that doesn't work, bike. Try a recumbent bike. Try an elliptical. If you have trouble with your legs, use an arm bike. Whatever you're able to do to get to breathlessness is the goal. Obviously, check with your doctor first. So that's 2. The third thing is stress. So most people don't realize, but stress, especially in Western society, is incredibly high. People have all sorts of stressors from marriage to work to finances, everything. Spend 30 minutes a day, meditate, pray, be introspective, do yoga, whatever you have to do to let things go. 4 and final, and this is an interesting one, most heart doctors never talk about love. But why is love associated with a heart? Because they really go hand in hand. And the data suggests that people who have supportive connections in life, a spouse, a family member, a dog even, they do better. They have less heart attacks. They survive heart attacks better. And believe it or not, there's an emerging field of science in medicine showing this exact thing. So to put it all together in a way that people can really remember, live like a poor crop farmer. Now that may seem strange, but it's pretty simple. Eat what you grow, be active your whole life, be one with the earth, be at peace, and connected to others. That's it. And if you can do that, that is the best way to prevent heart disease.
Guess what? Couldn't find a red hat. Found one was on the red on the inside, though. I'm getting close to finding that red hat for this Healthy Heart Luncheon. I hope you have been enjoying yourself. I hope you've had some fun. Guess what? I'm back again, and what I'm going to do is try to make you a winner. So let me put my almost red hat on. All right? Boy, don't I look good. Bam! Yes, I do. All right, let me see if I can make you a winner. Let me grab the red hat bag. I'm going to shake her up here, and let's see if we can make you a winner. All right, when I call your name, you will have 7 minutes to call. 495-6. Oh, wait, I'm messing that up. 412-495-6890. That's right. See, even I make mistakes. I'm glad we're live because I can't erase it, but I made a mistake. But the number is on the screen for you to call. Christina Ellison, you have 7 minutes to call. 412-495-6890. Who else is going to be a winner today? John Batten, sir, you got 7 minutes to call and claim your prize. Let's see who else is going to be a winner here. All right, I know this lady, Yvonne Bishop. You have 7 minutes to call and claim your prize. All right, let's see who else. Monique McClendon, you have 7 minutes to call and claim your prize. Let me get this last one for this round. Vania McClendon, hey, you got 7 minutes to call and claim your prize. All right, you're all winners, but you only get your gift if you call. All right, don't go anywhere. Somebody is going to be our grand prize winner. Who will it be? Hopefully it'll be me. Listen, whatever you do, don't leave. Stay with us. I want to make you a winner.
The American Heart Association, the American College of Cardiology, has not had a comprehensive document such as this before that targets both the patient as well as the healthcare provider. What we tried to do was to summarize the latest data about how to better assess one's risk of having a heart attack and stroke. And we also talk about the risk of developing heart failure and atrial fibrillation. We then went into the latest data about aspirin and other blood thinners. We've had several recent studies that have questioned the use of aspirin to try to lower one's risk of a heart attack. We then summarized the data about blood pressure lowering and re-emphasized the fact that lower blood pressures are associated not only with a lower risk of heart attack and stroke, but also heart failure. And we have some recent data that also suggests that lower blood pressures are associated with a lower risk of memory problems or cognitive impairment. The data about cholesterol that was recently presented and published back in November has also been updated, and we now feel much more comfortable with advocating much lower target cholesterol values. The last set of cholesterol guidelines did not really deal with diet, weight, and exercise, and these guidelines have a very strong lifestyle emphasis. We also talk about those individuals who have diabetes and some of the newer classes of medicines that not only lower one's blood sugar and hemoglobin A1C, but significantly lower a person with diabetes risk of developing heart failure or kidney problems. So I think this ABCDE approach is going to be very helpful for primary care providers, for cardiologists, endocrinologists, and even other specialties such as surgeons and OBGYNs to really understand how to convey this information to patients and to provide many manageable tools that will help them in their quest to live a long and healthy life that's not burdened by cardiovascular disease. The cornerstone of prevention is better dietary and exercise habits. And these guidelines really take the tack that the more meals that we could eat that are of a Mediterranean type of diet, vegetarian, vegan, the better. We talk about trying to minimize both red meat and processed meats such as bacon, sausage, etc. We talk about the dangers of having too much sodium in the diet, and also the problems where people have too much in the way of sugary foods in the diet. We also do a nice discussion about diet and weight, the strategies to help people try to lose weight, and emphasize a better approach of trying to lose weight is trying to aim for a pound or two a month, as opposed to trying to drop 5 or more pounds in a month. So there's so many more lifestyle factors that really weren't covered in previous guidelines, such as the cholesterol guidelines that were presented back in November of 2018. So I think both the provider and the patient will have so much more useful information about a comprehensive but manageable approach to lower our risk of a heart attack and stroke. It's very important for people to remember that high blood pressure is a very strong risk factor for congestive heart failure, for stroke, as well as coronary artery disease. And a person's arteries can get clogged up with this yellow fat and cholesterol. And we want to do whatever we can to slow that progression and maybe even stabilize the amount of blockages or narrowings that are already in a person's arteries. For blood pressure, we want to try to focus in on the number 130/80. We want our blood pressure values as much as possible to be below that level. And we talk a great deal about ways to improve one's dietary and exercise habits. We also talk about the best ways to approach what medicine that one might try and what is the optimal second or perhaps even third medication to add on to. Ideally, we'd like our blood pressure to be less than 120/80. And studies show that when you're in that range of 120/80, you're so much less likely to develop heart failure or a stroke or a heart attack later in life. These new American Heart Association, American College of Cardiology guidelines talk about the latest strategies to help people get off of cigarettes. Tobacco addiction is probably the #1 preventable cause of heart attacks and strokes in this country. And we talk both about behavioral techniques to help people get off of cigarettes, as well as review the latest data about the medications that seem to be the most effective. We also talk about electronic cigarettes, and we know that many young people seem to get hooked on e-cigarettes. Ideally, they were developed to help people get off of cigarettes, but unfortunately more and more individuals are now starting on electronic cigarettes, and that may lead to further problems with addiction in the future.
Welcome back. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself today. Guess what? I found the hat that started it all. This is the original red hat for the Red Hat Healthy Heart Luncheon that I've worn for the past few years. I'm glad I found this hat because you know what? I went through a whole bunch of other hats, and guess what? I ended up right back here because the hat that I wanted to wear and I ordered never came in. What is that saying? I couldn't find the hat that I wanted. I wasn't satisfied. I went back to what I know works. Guess what? You can go back to what you know works. Knowing your numbers, exercising, eating healthy, can go back to what works, all right? So that you can get yourself together. The reason we come together is to make certain that you get education that will help you to turn your life around. It's never too late to turn your life around. I was going to share a picture, and I still might share a picture of me years ago, all right, and how I used to look. And then guess what? I changed my life around. I changed the way I ate. I exercised, and I tried to get rest, take my vitamins, and say my prayers, all right? And it has led to a lifestyle change. You can change. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to be wore out, and you certainly don't have to die from heart disease. So I'm glad you're here, but I'm here to make somebody our grand prize winner. I thank you for tuning in. I thank you all for all that you learned. Hopefully you'll take some takeaways with you. But listen, I want to make somebody a grand prize winner. Vania, come on over and help me. Let's do this together. All right. She's been working behind the scenes, guys, and she's been doing a great job. This is Vania. She actually was one of our winners. She was registered to win, and she won. But listen, did you call?
No.
You better.
Okay.
She didn't call. Oh my goodness. She was busy working with me here. Just because her name was called, she thought she was automatically when she should have called the number to win. But listen, don't you mess up. No. If you're our grand prize winner, don't you mess up. So why don't I give you the honors of pulling the name for our grand prize winner? And you certainly want to call. And when we call your name, you'll have 7 minutes to call 412-495-6890. And the winner of the 7th annual Red Hat Healthy Heart Luncheon and Symposium is
Donna Ellison.
Donna Ellison. You are a grand prize winner, and I'm telling you, you want to call and claim your prize. You have 7 minutes to call 412-495-6890. I'm glad that I made you all winners. Hopefully you've enjoyed these prizes. If you didn't call and claim it, then I'm going to go shopping.
I'm going to go shopping.
We're going together.
Yes.
We'll be back right after this. Go get us off camera. Yes. We appreciate you guys. Can you believe it? We have come to the end of another Red Hat Healthy Heart Luncheon and Symposium. On behalf of Dr. Sharon McDaniels, President and CEO of A Second Chance Incorporated, the executive leadership of A Second Chance, even myself, we're grateful for you spending this time with us. We gather each year in memory of Rhonda. This is her photo if you haven't figured it out by now. Rhonda was a wonderful woman, a mother, an aunt, a friend to many here at A Second Chance, and to many of you that have tuned in. Rhonda left us because of heart disease. And from that, Dr. Sharon wanted to make certain that we would never forget that we don't have to go because of heart disease. We want you to live a long and healthy life, free of sickness and disease. Hopefully you've heard something from our doctors. Hopefully you heard something from Marlon Wood, a heart survivor. Hopefully you heard something from myself and those who have shared in this time together that you will take away from this moment and that you will use to make your life better. Again, we gather every year. Next year, it is our desire to see you in person. It is our desire to see your red hats, your ball gowns, your suits and ties. It is our desire next year that we will gather in person. I want you to remember, look out for information. It's usually this time of year in February that we gather for our annual Red Hat Healthy Heart Luncheon. Until we meet again, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you. May the Lord be merciful and grant you his favor. Until next year, God bless you.